Okay, PCF, you got us, you got the players again. We're all dumb, and we don't know how these systems work. And I say that because it's Developer News Thursday, and there are only 3 things in this index. A topic for discussion, which is anti-duplication improvements. There are patch news and notes for the next patch, and an ongoing list of currently tracked issues. So, topic for discussion, anti-duplication improvements. I mean, I'm sorry, but if you read the title of this system, anti-duplication, it has one job. One job is all this system has, and it's not doing it correctly. However, with this change that they are proposing, it makes the system even worse. So they've said it's now been a little while since we implemented our changes to the legendary drop rate system, and we are able to see on a global analytics level the beneficial impact these changes have made. I'm going to totally agree with that. The legendary drop rate is much, much better. However, their analytics also indicate that the anti-duplication system is working well across the global population. No, it is not. As mentioned previously, it does not guarantee that you'll get a unique item with every drop, but it does appear to be significantly reducing the time until players receive new uniques, and that is something they want to take back from the players. That is their proposed change. So there is one outstanding question that they wanted to get everyone's thoughts on. The system currently re-rolls a dropped legendary item once if it identifies that you already have said item on your character, in your inventory, or your stash. This system, however, can make it a little bit harder to farm for an improved version of a particular item if you are specifically relying on that item for farming. Their example is, you have a death shield equipped but you want to farm to get a better death shield roll. The death shield, however, is a key component of your current build, which means that removing it from your character or stash in order to improve its drop chance may not be viable, since doing so cripples your build. So basically, the anti-duplication system is supposed to re-roll an item once, not all the time, but it's supposed to do that to try and prevent duplicates, which it is not doing because duplicates are so common. The whole point of this system was to stop people getting so many duplicates so they could eventually get every single legendary item in the game if that's what they were going for, because the developers put too much of a grind behind this game. It's still not doing that because I'm still like 7 or 8 legendaries away from having all of the unique weapons. For an example, the funeral pyre. I've never once had that drop, and I have had hundreds, if not thousands, of legendary drops. So the system isn't working how it should. We are constantly still seeing cannonball stuff, seismic commander stuff. There's just a lot of the old things that were common, now because of the legendary drop rate being improved, is even more common than before. And it shows that the system's not working, because I've even had runs and seen images and videos of runs where players are getting 3 or 4 of the same item dropping from the drop pod. That means the anti-duplication system is not working. The one thing they could do is increase its chance of re-rolling an item, or they could just show us that an item's being re-rolled, because we don't have any indication to know whether an item's actually been re-rolled or not. So they're telling us that it's working well. We are not seeing any of that on the player's side. So we don't actually know if it is, and these developers cannot be trusted, because everything they've said since the start of this game pretty much has been a lie. So what is the proposal for the improvement to the system? Their proposal is that the anti-duplication system ignores any gear you currently have equipped when checking whether you currently own an item. So the pro to that is it would make it easier to farm for improved versions of your currently equipped gear. The con is that the hunt for unique items could become a little longer again, as your currently equipped gear wouldn't trigger the anti-duplication system, i.e. 8 items would be added to the do not re-roll pool. They put a note, as this is a global and invisible back-end system, there's no way to turn it on or off, or like on a player-by-player basis. A pick and choose your own reward option is also not feasible within the design of the game. But it's not about it being feasible within the design of the game. That's why you are designing these new systems to implement them into the game. So you can make it feasible, you're just choosing not to. Anyway, such a change wouldn't be present in the current patch, but it could potentially be worked into the patch thereafter. So what do you think? Shall we make this change to the system? Let us know in the dedicated subthread. However, my account's been suspended. I'm not making a new Reddit account, so I'm not going to be able to let them know through that. So I'm letting them know through video, whether they see it or not. Do not fucking implement this stupid, like, not thought of system. The change to the system. It's an anti-duplication system. I don't know how many times that has to be said. I don't know how much bold you can add to that text to say it's an anti-duplication system. So making it so that the system doesn't pick up your currently equipped gear means that it doesn't re-roll the things you have equipped. So if you have a death shield, a purple SMG, and a random pistol, and then 5 pieces of gear, they will not be re-rolled if you get them to drop. So that just further stops the anti-duplication system working. Why would that be a good change to a system? It's backwards. It's supposed to stop duplicates, yet this is going to give you even more duplicates, because it's not going to count the stuff that you have equipped. I don't know why not a single person at PCF understands what this means. The fact that they've put this across as a possible improvement to the system. This isn't an improvement, this is a step backwards. The system is already causing players a load of shit, because it's duplicate after duplicate. Players are still missing a lot of different gear pieces and a lot of different legendary weapons, and now they're wanting to do it so it doesn't count the stuff that you have equipped. So, say for an example, you just want to, just for the sake of it, just for the fun of it, you want to equip the full 5-piece of cannonball stuff. That's going to be dropping as duplicates way more than it already is. This change is the most pathetic thing they could have come up with. All they needed to do was just make it so that it re-rolls the duplicate stuff more often. Having a death shield equipped, if it's going to re-roll, it's going to re-roll. I don't know if you guys have played much of Outriders lately, but the fucking firepower that comes on weapons from drops is dreadful. I'm having a lot of weapons dropping with 20k plus firepower away from the god roll. The people that work on this game have had to go through qualifications. They've had to become educated on developing a game, and they don't understand how simple this is. You have an anti-duplication system. Do not make it so that you have gear pieces that are equipped on your character not re-roll. That takes away from the system that is currently feeling like it doesn't work for a lot of the players that are left on this game. Whoever come up with that idea, just grow some fucking brain cells. Seriously, if it's someone within the company, fire their ass, get them out of there. You have a system in place to stop duplicates, and now you are wanting to add more duplicates into the system. It doesn't make sense in the slightest. But we're going to move on very quickly. I'm not reading out the stuff that's coming in the patch besides the top thing. But the patch news and notes for the next one. Our latest patch, unfortunately, isn't quite ready for release today, as we are continuing to test it, but we're aiming to release it early next week, ideally on Tuesday. So here's what you can look forward to as part of the upcoming patch. The only thing I'm reading, improved and faster Xbox sign-in process. It doesn't need to be faster, it just needs to work. Oh, and there's another one I will actually read out. Improved matchmaking to reduce the chance of matching with an AFK player. Players that are AFK, so they're not interacting with the game, for more than 2 minutes will be automatically removed from the matchmaking queue. Interacting with NPCs or configuring skills, mods or builds is not considered AFK behaviour, though being inactive for 2 minutes plus while being in menus or dialogue options is. So if you're standing there and you go to Tiago, you go to the mod vendor, you go to Bailey, that doesn't count as being AFK. So instead of players just standing around doing nothing, they're just going to stand in the vendor screen just to continue being AFK, and the systems that they're putting into the game won't register them being as AFK. All they have to do with this is when you search for an expedition, put you into an expedition with players that are currently in an expedition. You can go to the Outriders camp and sort all your mods and stuff after you've done a run. The option shouldn't be, when you're searching for a game, story or expedition. It should be story or whatever the fuck we want to put you into. Another simple thing they could add in to sort out the matchmaking would be to simply close someone's game privacy when they get into an expedition. Like, if they have a full lobby, people obviously can't join, set it to closed. If someone leaves, then the player themselves can open it back up. However, when you go back to the Outriders camp after that expedition, you're not going to have people join in if you decide to go and disappear. They set it to default to open. And as soon as you interact with another player, whether you're joining or they're joining, it just automatically keeps it on open. And then what happens is, you back out and you change your privacy to closed, again from open. The thing has a delay on it. The game can't keep up with you changing that privacy, so it just defaults you back to open. So a lot of players are missing it because the developers just don't know what they're fucking doing with this game. Because I've even had them put me into the story from searching for an expedition. The matchmaking is screwed. And doing this is going to take a lot of matches out of the system. Therefore, is going to make it take way longer for anyone to find a match. And we're still going to be put into the Outriders camp. If it was guaranteed to go into an expedition, fine. Let players wait 2, 3, maybe even 5 minutes to find a game. Especially considering the current, players on the game. But having that system that can possibly make you wait 2, 3, even 5, 10 minutes to find a game, if you're still going to be put into the Outriders camp because someone's standing there interacting with a vendor, what is the fucking point? It's the most stupid, not thought about change they possibly could have done. And would you believe, this patch will also include the below tweak, which can be considered a small rebalance. Please note this is just a small tweak that required code work and was already ready to be rolled into this patch. Our next one after this is intended to have more buffs for all classes. But this patch here, that hasn't needed to have too much coding done to it, has been delayed on them telling people that it's going to include those for, all classes in the game having buffs. So again, they just don't know how to fucking communicate. But this is not acceptable. You have an anti-duplication system in the game and you're wanting to do it, make an improvement, a quote-unquote improvement to it, that awards more duplicates. It totally defeats the object. What is the point of having it if you're just taking stuff out of the system so that it can roll the duplicates? They should have always done it so that there's a better chance, so that there's no specific weight and it's all based on purely RNG, because that way, if you haven't got a certain legendary, play more of the game. But now you can't simply say to someone you haven't put in enough hours, you're not grinding the game, because I've had people coming to me saying, I'm doing tier 6, I'm doing tier 5, I'm not getting legendaries. You're not going to get legendaries, you have to play the bloody game. You need to get to tiers 12, 13, 14, 15 in order to have a good chance of getting legendaries. Yet people just aren't understanding that, and I'm putting that down to the developers not communicating anything properly. Where are the fucking notes to tell us how this legendary system works? That was supposed to come before all the armor stuff. This game will never ever make a comeback because of the level of incompetence within the team. This is not acceptable for them to be doing. One of the currently tracked issues, stuck at 99% accolade progress. They can't even fix their accolades. Xbox problems related to signing in. Yeah, it's a problem. Making the process faster doesn't make a difference if the connection times out. It just means it's going to time out faster and players still can't sign in. Honestly, Square Enix making this a franchise was the most stupid thing they could do, and they're probably going to end up going bankrupt from this because they've lost money with Avengers, they've probably lost a bit of money with this, and they're definitely, especially if they keep People Can Fly on this, within the Square Enix company, if Square Enix keep publishing their stuff, they're going to continue to lose money. Or they're going to start losing money, because I do believe Outriders actually made a bit of profit. They will start losing money, because People Can Fly do not know what they are doing. Everything they have done in the past 3 months now has either been a lie, it hasn't worked, it's made things even worse, and it's all just pushed players away. The last time I checked the Steam charts, they're struggling to pass 3k concurrent players. It's got that bad because they are so fucking thick. I thought Massive Entertainment was stupid when they were putting out their patches for the Division 2. Well, Outriders is hold my beer. It's one of them situations. The Division 2 developers had nothing on the Outriders developers. Because this is absurd. It's ridiculous for them to have an anti-duplication system that they want to include more duplicates into. When you're writing out these notes, surely you're picking up that it sounds fucking stupid. I don't know, I'm leaving the video there. I can't be bothered with the amount of just stupidity coming from this company. They're still looking into players dying while a shield is active. They're still looking into the tricksters hunt the prey, not turning players towards an enemy's back if aiming down sights immediately after activation. They're still looking into journal entries and pickups not appearing on secondary characters. It's being re-investigated. Just hire new people, fire the people that are fucking this up this badly, and just start doing something for your game. I mean, in most cases it's already far too late, but you have to do something major before or when you drop a DLC. Otherwise you're fucked. Let me know your thoughts and stuff in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed it.